Last week, Nintendo released an updated Mario Kart World Direct to apparently showcase more information regarding the game. However, right away into the Mario Kart World Direct, we were treated with lots of information that we already knew about thanks to the last Nintendo Direct, as lots of footage that was shown in this Mario Kart World exclusive Direct was footage from the game that they had already used in previous Directs. To start the Direct, Nintendo focused on covering some courses in the game, and after covering the first Direct in great detail, we already knew some of the courses in Mario Kart World, and we knew that the tracks in Mario Kart World were spread out and based upon their surrounding region within the world of Mario Kart itself, as we saw courses that were in a snowy setting, desert setting, water setting, and so on. Now in the last Direct, we could already easily tell the names of some of the courses that were premiered, and one of those courses was the first track that they showcased in Mario Bros. Circuit. I understand that Nintendo wants to showcase as much new content for the game as possible, but Mario Bros. Circuit is already something that we have seen plenty of times within Mario Kart World, so it would have made sense to showcase something new and exciting in this Direct. Crown City is another one of those tracks that we already knew about thanks to looking at the previous Direct more in great detail. Whether you did this on your own or watched my video on things you may have missed, as we discovered that there's a Crown City during the day and nighttime, and we were treated to gameplay footage of these two tracks during Nintendo's Treehouse Direct. However, while we did see little gameplay footage from some of the other maps, we actually got to see more detail in regards to Salty Speedway, Starview Peak, Boost Cinema where it looks like you'll jump through the movie screen, and we got the exciting announcement of Toad's Factory, which hasn't been included in a Mario Kart game since Mario Kart Wii, and Peach Beach, which looks like it will have parts of the course taking place on water, instead of going along the water like what we saw in Mario Kart Double Dash. Nintendo also brought back Wario's Shipyard, a track that hasn't been included in a game since the 3DS. It also looks like they're bringing back one of the very first tracks that started the series, in Donut Plains, as this track here almost looks exactly like Donut Plains, just remastered. We also see that on the Mario Kart World map, there's 29 POI locations to explore. There also happens to be this star in the middle of the island. I wonder what could possibly be in the center of the island. Next, we were introduced to the characters included in the game, and while many of us had already broken down ourselves which characters were seen in the last Direct, seeing Nintendo Treehouse footage, or if you watched my video on what you may have missed in the Direct or any other video on YouTube, we all basically knew who the characters were going to be in Mario Kart World. And it's at this moment in the Direct where things really went downhill, as we were introduced to the already mainstays of the series like Mario, Luigi, and Bowser. But we were also introduced to the new characters of Goomba, Spike, and Cow, which we already knew about. We were then introduced to the character selection screen, and as you can see, there are 12 characters per page and 13 pages, which means there will be 156 characters potentially in Mario Kart World. If this is the case, this would be actually insane, but also stupid at the same time, because as we can see throughout this Direct, most of the characters are just wearing a different costume, and Nintendo is counting this as a character selection instead of adding a locker for each character. We can also see that there are some new characters that we haven't really seen in the previous Directs, such as Rocky Wrench, Cheep Cheep, and Conkdor. These characters are fine, but just like with all the other new characters that Nintendo has introduced, who's really asking or wanting to play as these characters, as they just don't really fit in the mold of Mario Kart. We can see that there will only be 48 carts to choose from, compared to the 156 characters. So there's a good possibility that the cart selection option may get stale quickly with so little options being available compared to the characters. We already knew about Grand Prix mode, Knockout Tour mode, and Free Roam mode, so for Nintendo to showcase these modes more was a weird decision, as we weren't really given any more details or new information regarding these modes. However, during the showcase of these modes, we saw that there's a character of Swoop being an option as a playable character. We also saw that along with the items and the 24-player race option, courses will also include cars that shoot bullet bills, cars that have hammer bro, and other obstacles along the way. This could make the races cluttery, chaotic, and just repetitive when it comes to getting hit by items, resulting in less time racing and more time actually getting hit by items. We also saw Nintendo showcase the various cups within Grand Prix mode, again something we already knew that would be included in the game. And we were also teased about the possibility to unlock Rainbow Road once you complete all Grand Prix Cups, as this is something that could open the door to having more unlockables after each cup. We've also seen that the max coins you can carry looks to be now 20 compared to the 10 that it was before. Nintendo also showcased some new items in the game, as the first was the all-new coin shell item, which spawns a trail of coins to allow you to gain speed. Next was the all-new ice flower, which is similar to the fire flower. You can freeze other drivers with impact. There's also the hammer from Hammer Bro, the Mega Mushroom that I previously covered, and we were also shown the all-new jumping feature with the feather item that lets you jump over oncoming items and enemies. This is something that is really exciting and provides something new towards the gameplay in the series. And lastly, there's Kamek, who isn't a playable character but instead is transforming characters into different outfits. Looking at Kamek's ability, this just seems pointless and just plain weird to be included in the game. We finally were treated to what that gold item was that we initially saw in the first trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2, as it seems to be some sort of a takeout bag that has food items inside, where you can unlock outfits inspired by the piece of food that you eat. This would explain the sushi outfit and other outfits that we've seen in other trailers for the game. While this is cool, these food items don't provide any significance when it comes to racing, and it also looks like these items may only be available in the free roam mode. To have these items unlock costumes just seems wrong, as the variations from the food you eat just takes up another character slot, as it would have been easier if these were included in a character locker. One new aspect that does seem exciting is the all-new charging jump, where you'll hold down your charge in order to leap over obstacles, jump up onto certain areas, and dodge attacks and rivals. We also saw later in the Direct that you will be able to jump up onto opponents similar to footstooling opponents in Super Smash Bros. Nintendo also showcased the all-new rewind feature that has rivals moving forward despite you rewinding, which brings up the question, why even bother rewinding? Towards the end of the Direct, we were finally introduced to the P-Switch button, which will start missions all across the world. There are also medallions, which almost make it look like you'll be able to unlock characters when you collect them all, and question mark buttons all across the map that are similar to the P-Switch button. These options look to keep gamers very busy in the free roam mode, almost acting as a Breath of the Wild Korok Seed single player mode where you have to collect everything. Just like what I said in my video right after the first Direct, it is confirmed that the open world is the pre-game online lobby when you are waiting for your friends. And that's pretty much it what we saw in this Mario Kart World Direct. They did bring back classics like Battle Mode, Time Trials, etc., but initially I thought this Direct was going to include DLC information and the possibility of somehow playing a demo for the game that released later that same day on the Nintendo Switch. And I just wanted to see more new exciting information regarding the game. This entire Direct was a bit of a letdown, to be honest. We saw lots of information that we already knew about, and we weren't really treated to anything new. I'm curious to see what Nintendo has to offer going forward when it comes to Mario Kart World. What are your thoughts about the Mario Kart World Direct? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed these videos, be sure to click like and subscribe. For more Nintendo content, keep it locked here, right here on this channel.